As his father and administration continue to flounder in their defense of the newly released Epstein documents, a hero for the Trump family has emerged. Yes, that white knight upon a shining steed. Eric Trump has swooped in to save his father from these nasty allegations that he drew a doodle on Epstein's birthday card. And Eric Trump did it by using talking points that, of course, were debunked 2 months ago. Because according to an interview that Eric Trump gave this week to Carl Higbee Frontline on Newsmax, Eric Trump says, "My dad doesn't doodle." Here's what Eric Trump said on Newsmax this week to defend his father. "I can tell you my father does not sketch out cartoon drawings. I mean, it's insane. Not to mention Epstein's lawyer said he asked specifically about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump never once came up, and there is no correlation. And it's ironic given that my father was the very guy that threw him out of the club because he thought he was a scumbag. My father's intuition was actually incredibly right." Oh my good God, Eric, how many debunked things can you say in one sentence? Because all of that has been proven to be false. First and foremost, your dad does in fact do doodles. He has given doodles to auction houses, and for some reason they sell for tens of thousands of dollars, since at least 1990 that we can verify. You want to hear the list, Eric? Here it is. In 2005, Trump drew the Manhattan skyline, prominently featuring Trump Tower, and donated it to charity. It was later sold for nearly $30,000 at an auction house in Los Angeles. Another skyline sketch from 2004 titled "You're Fired" fetched a high price in Dallas. Julian's Auction sold a minimalist sketch of the George Washington Bridge in 2006 for $4,500, and a drawing of the Empire State Building from the early 1990s was also sold at auction. Eric, those are verifiable things that your father drew. So don't sit there and say, like, "My daddy doesn't doodle." Daddy doodles, dude. And then, of course, Epstein's lawyer asked about your burr. Epstein's lawyer asked who? And it's Epstein's lawyer. Who are you even talking about? Are you trying to talk about the lawyers who recently talked to Maxwell? Because if that's the case, they didn't ask about Donald Trump. They asked about 100 specific individuals, nearly all of them Democrats or Trump's other political enemies. That's who they asked about. They asked her. The lawyers didn't ask the other side. So, there's that as well. Not to mention, buddy, the third big lie that you just told in that, which, of course, is that my father threw him out of the clubhouse because he was a scumbag. Two possibilities with that, buddy. First and foremost, you're admitting that your dad committed a crime. In the United States of America, it is not a crime to not report a crime. Unless there are 3 exceptions. Now, the first 2 are irrelevant to this case. However, the third exception to when it is a crime to not report a crime in the United States is when it involves abuse of a minor. So if Donald Trump knew what Epstein was doing and then threw him out of his club because of it, then you're admitting that your dad committed a crime by not reporting this level of child abuse to the authorities. And that's prosecutable. The statute of limitations on issues like that, obviously, a little bit longer than typical. So, and most states have passed laws to make it to where you could go back and get people who did abuse decades ago. So that's a pretty dumb thing to say, Eric. Not to mention the fact that Donald Trump himself actually already blew up that talking point about a month ago when he said, quote, "He took people. I say don't do it anymore. They work for me. Beyond that, he took some others. Once he did that, that was the end of him." Your dad kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because he was poaching his employees, including Virginia Giuffre. So, yeah. You lied in every part of your defense of your father, using very easily debunked talking points that even other Republicans have basically stopped using because they know they're BS. We know the truth, Eric. So maybe you ought to get up with the times, dude, and realize that everything you're saying is a complete and total fabrication. Your dad is, in fact, a scumbag. He may not have been a scumbag to the level of Epstein, but according to several dozen women, he in fact is. According to the Access Hollywood tape, he in fact is. But the best thing to do in this particular instance, and probably only this particular instance, is follow your daddy's lead and keep your mouth shut at this point. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.